In the beginning, I came here to study in this tradition because I knew nothing about yoga, even though I have a license and I'm starting to teach. I know nothing about prana. I know nothing about how to teach to different, unique individual. I was teaching the same posture to everybody, and I knew nothing about what is yoga exactly. And I was so sad and almost depressed because I am teaching and I don't know. And this is horrible. And so then I was talking to my boss, Dominica, of the studio owner, that either I quit of teacher or I have to learn somewhere. And she had a bookshelf. In that, I found Heart of Yoga by Sir. And in there, the answer was there. Everything. What is prana? What is this mystical kundalini? What is yoga exactly? What is the philosophy behind? Why do you have to do asanas? Everything was so explained so nicely. And so I had the confidence, if I go to this school, I would learn what is yoga. I would learn what is breathing. I would learn how to teach to individuals in different postures and everything. So that's how I started. But why I'm continuing in this tradition is, I think because it's what I am supposed to do in my life at this point. When I started, it was almost like 10 years ago or 12 years ago. But by this time, I tried many other yogas, I tried Zen, many other great masters and all that. But the only thing that fit into my door, you need a unique keys to open. There is only one key to your door. I tried every other things, but I already had a key. And I'm saying, I don't like this key because I don't like the shape, I don't know how it looks and all that. But I already know that door is opening and the path is starting. And what I want to learn in this life is really deep into myself, not about body. Of course, sure, it's nice, but breathing, yes, sure, of course, but much more. What is it I'm alive? What is it that I'm doing yoga? Why I'm suffering? And all these deep questions. And through this tradition, I'm in touch of that. And since young time, when I was a child and all that, I was so interested into Native Americans because they are keeping the tradition that is to the heart. And so I was really into that. But somehow I came into this other Native Indians, Native Americans, kind of, not Native American, Native Indians. And then I was in touch with this old knowledge that everybody can go back to where you are. Even if I'm Japanese, if I chant mantras, I'm connected to my heart, and that's really universal. So to me, what this tradition is trying to teach me really suits me. So, I don't think this tradition is for everybody. I don't think chanting is for everybody because you really need a key that's specific for you. But this tradition can offer so many variety if you have different needs and all that. So I think just from my experience, I can say that this tradition really fitted to me. Kausthub teaches fabulous group classes. He is one expression in a class. Like he will be so beaming and very passionate and very strong and sometimes bold and sometimes like the jokes that we can take, jokes that we love, and sometimes he seems very strong and very fast. So you have this impression that, oh, you know, he's like this and I'm a little bit too shy or scared, or he's just too much, something like this. Especially from Japanese point of view, it's like this, very strong. But you take a courage to meet him one-to-one. Actually, you really need courage to, like, can I take private class? That's like a courage. But to know who he is or to know who you are, you really have to come one-to-one, because he will be so different in a classroom, one-to-one. He will be sometimes very quiet, very tender, sometimes maybe very strong also, but he will totally appear a different person. So you feel like, who's this person? I don't know this person. And also, through the practice you get by Kausthub, you will experience somebody you don't know, or something you totally do not know. And my now experience is really crazy. It's like you get one Shirokao mantras and you try to chant and meditate on it. And so many physical condition comes, fevers and shivering and all these things, and toxins went out. And after that, you really feel a lot of light inside. But this is very scary to say, yes, I'm up for this pain, I'm up for this suffering. This is like, but if you really ask to yourself, what do you really want to know? You have to say yes. You know, I think not all people is sign up for one-to-one classes. There's a lot of reasons, but what I think is mainly fear, and also maybe expectations and all this. So you have to go through all this mind stuff and to meet yourself or to meet your teacher, and then you will know what this teaching is teaching you, what is really the essence of that. So I think if you are only taking group classes, you are touching like little bit far theoretical part and a little bit of experience, but not the center of this teaching. So if you take one-to-one class, you will touch this, and this is scary. At the same time, it's gonna be a big treasure for you. So without one-to-one classes, meeting with the teacher, I don't think you will understand yourself, your potential, and I don't think you will understand what this teaching can offer really to you. Actually, I was studying with him from probably like 2007 to 2010, something like that. Very close relationship to him, I think, kind of. But when I quit being associated with this tradition and from Kausthub himself, I felt I was hurt deeply. I didn't understand why he was saying some things, and I couldn't take the teaching itself. I couldn't believe, I couldn't trust him anymore. And so quietly, I left. And later, I sent email that I'm quitting, and I even gave back the license that this tradition offered to me, send it back to India and saying, like this is not belonging to me. You know, to me, it was too much, this tradition. I didn't want to have a brand name, so to say, Krishnamacharya tradition and all that. That time, I didn't want to. I just wanted to be myself. And after I left, because the anger and all this feeling was not resolved, it's always there. And 5 years I took a rest. And I was trying Zen, I was trying other yoga methods, I was trying other teachers. They were all fantastic. Really, in Japan, it's fantastic. But interestingly, I started to practice what Sir one time gave me as a practice. Because in those confused time before, I practiced without Shraddha, without faith. So I was like, it's cool, it's something, but I never get what it is. I don't like these mantras, I don't like these weird asanas and all that. So nothing really happened to me. And that's why I also was curious what this whole teaching is about. But during the rest period, I don't know why, but I wanted to practice. And very kindly, Kausthub asked Sir to teach me one lesson. And that's like a treasure, but I just threw it away, you know. Like, I don't know. I think I was not ready to really receive what is this. And during that rest time, I took the sheet and I really started to practice. And then it made a difference. I started to understand what is this mantra is doing to me. And I understand why is this so simple asanas and chanting is made just so simple so that you can connect to the light or the heart or the feeling that's happening inside. Because if you do too much of stuff, you are caught with this outside. You will never really experience what's inside of you. So I started to understand of that. I started to appreciate of this teaching, and I started chanting more and more and more. And I started to teach. And when I teach mantras, somehow students comes. So this is like a really clear sign that this is what I'm supposed to do. And I'm trying to say no, because it's not easy path. But many of the things are teaching me that this is a lot of gift you are already given. And so when my partner Kumayo, she was studying together with me, also teaching together with me, she said, why don't we go back to learn in this tradition? You know, because Madam Menika is starting this chanting course and it's going to be the first one. And I was like, no way, it's too much. And you know, it's like, I don't want to touch into these scary places, you know. This life is given so precious, this time only. So you have to take a chance. And so for me, it's also really a big chance, big step to come back to this tradition. And then when I first came back and heard Madam Menika chant, Sahana Babatu, I'm just so crying, so much crying. Because I know this is it. This is where my home is. This is where my teaching is, and this is where I can in touch with my heart. And of course, I have to be meeting with Kausthub. And the first meeting for me was not easy because I'm not resolved this anger. And you know what happened in 2012, I heard it from my friend who was joining in the Austria program that time. So I heard a lot of negativity, and then I didn't want to read other people's rumors because I know it's going to be bad. So you don't want to get some other people's opinion about it. And I would rather ask Kausthub, what happened exactly? So after so much fight inside me, I took courage to ask him, what was the problem? What was all this about? And he told me honestly, from his point of view, what happened. And I melted. My anger and all these doubts and so many things just washed away. And he took the license that I gave back a long time ago from a shelter, and he said, I knew you were going to come back. And I was just crying in a good ways. And this resolved me many things. So I think if you're hesitant because you heard all these rumors of other people and you are hesitant to take his one-to-one class or this group learning, it's a little bit shame because you will never know what is the truth. Only you are going to experience, you are going to decide what is this, who is him, what he can teach, and what is the gift that you're going to receive. You are going to decide that. So you're going to have to like cut everybody's opinion because that's everybody's, it's not you. So I was very fortunate by many help from my students and from my partner to help me to get in touch with him again and talk to him. And when I was very angry and skeptical of him, the first time I came back to this tradition, I looked at him through that, angry and skeptical, oh, he's still the same, and oh, he's so controlling, and I complained. But after I resolved and took off this anger aside and the other things aside, this is totally different. And one thing Kausthub told in the class hit me very well. In the meanings of Shraddha Suktam, he said, even though you get hurt so many times, you have to keep opening the door of the heart. You have to keep trusting. Otherwise, you will never learn. And then that time, I was a little bit angry already, and I was a little bit close, this and that, and all that. And I was like, this is so true. And I tried it. And all of a sudden, beyond the words, something comes, some other things, feelings and understanding and all that. And I was like, so for me, the difficulty of being with this tradition or difficulty of being with Kausthub, because he's such a unique person. He's not going to be easy sometimes. But because of this challenge, because sometimes he's difficult, it made me ground myself. And it made me go deeper and questioning. And it made me see about so many judgments and so many unknown past that I'm carrying. All this doubt, shame, and guilt, and all these things. And I get to see all these things that I don't want to see. But if I see it, and if I'm able to give it back to universe or God or whatever you call it, offer it, they will take it, or he will take it, and they will take care of you. And little bit more you have a light, little bit more you understanding. So you get more courage to go farther, one step more, one step more. Even now, I have fear, I have doubts, and it's like, I don't want to take one more step and all these things. But that time also, I go into myself, what do I really want? And this fear usually is for someone else. Like, I don't want to be looked at it in weird way. I don't want to be involved in somebody's rumor and all this. Always somebody else is something. And beyond that, if I ask to myself what I really, really want, is like I want to connect to my heart. And the thing that does not change to me with Kausthub is when I'm near him, I'm happy. I don't know why. It's something that's made, I think. I feel light, I feel wind is coming. Even if he's saying weird jokes and all that, and in my mind, oh, I don't like it. I don't like the speed he's teaching and all these things. Here is experiencing something different. Like beyond his body type, beyond his jokes, beyond his characteristic, he's carrying the essence of this teaching. And so if you have to like destabilize yourself and stay, you will keep receiving that beyond the words and all these other things, you know. So that's really what motivates me to go forward, forward, forward. And this is why I know he's my teacher. I would recommend Kausthub to students who are ready to go into the journey. Because if you're really meeting him, and if you're really receiving what he's going to give you, and if you're really going to practice, it's going to transform you. I mean, that means it's not a cool thing, you know, like this yoga is all about, oh, it's peace and it's light and so easy, or I don't know, comfortable, and no way. It's not going to be like that. So I cannot recommend to those people who are not ready yet. They need more soft approach, then I will keep it in my, in my house or something. But somebody who already want to know who they are, and they are ready to see their demons at the same time angel, I would recommend him. Because he can kick your butt. This is my true opinion, that like the deep practice of yoga is not for everyone. It should be like this. Same thing, one-to-one meeting with Kausthub is not for everyone. But you're watching this video, and if you're already curious about what he is and who he is, it's already something there. And through these videos, you get almost nothing but to experience by yourself what he can offer to you. So you have to ask your heart, why I am attracted to this teaching or to him, and you have to trust that, because that is something you don't understand. And that is only understood only through experience, meeting, and practices. So I'm saying if you're curious and watching the video already, there's something that's preparing you to go forward in this. So I think if you ask yourself and you are ready to meet who you are in both ways, negative, positive, I think it's a way to go.